How's it going?
It's good, man. How you been?
Good, living, relaxing. Everything's good on your end?
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful day. Just another beautiful day in Miami Beach.
Oh, fuck yeah.
After this, I think I'm gonna hit the sand. I try to go to the beach every weekend.
Nice. Nice.
Oh
Nice.
yeah,
Is
man.
it still warm out there? That's a real
Oh
question.
yeah, it never really gets cold.
Fuck.
55's winter jacket weather, man.
Imagine it's like 55 here at night now, which is insane.
Damn.
But it's cool. So, can you tell me a little bit more about the program?
Yeah, so what we're doing is I reach out to artists that for right now, like artists that I like, and all we do is we do this interview. After the interview, I'll write up a article about like the stuff that I learned, and then I'll post like like you'll have your own little section on the website of like two, three songs that you're trying to promote, a video, whatever it is that you're trying to put out there for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll put all the links with it and stuff like that. And the idea is, just to give artists who are pretty dope a platform for somebody else to say they're dope. You know,
Fuck yeah.
I feel like a lot of up and coming artists like will be really talented and have like all the music, and they got their little circle, their little fan base going already. And like getting over that hump is, having like an outside source, like put them on a blog, do an interview, like do stuff like that. So I just want to give that opportunity for artists that I know first, and I've reached out to a lot of people that I just listen to on playlists and stuff and think they're cool, and I've got to interview some people that like I don't know, and that's been really cool. And so yeah, the idea is just to have you know a platform where you know I can promote you, and the other artists being on there can promote you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like we all just kind of help each other. And eventually, I want to create like a membership for like consumers. So then I can start to like give like money away for projects. Like I can't do that just all on my own. I'm not like rich or nothing. But if we could create like people just like giving $5 a month as a member because they like the content, then I
Right.
can start offering like
Like a
say,
subscription.
yeah, but the what I would do with the money is say you need like oh, I'm doing a music video, but like my idea costs like 2,500 and I was only able to come up with 21 or whatever. You can
Right.
like write us a message or and stuff like that, and we can help like the artists that are coming up get that little extra bit of cash to like finish their product like projects and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the long run idea. And for right now I'm just building it, reaching out, getting the content up on the website and things of that nature.
Yeah. That's what's up. Fuck
Cool.
yeah. I support.
Awesome, man.
I support it. That's awesome. I love to see it. But yeah, cool. Let's get to
So
it. Yeah.
yeah,
Talk
so
about me.
yeah. Enough about me. So tell us a little background about yourself and your music career.
Yeah, I've been making music forever. Since I was a kid, I've been on stage mostly. Like I'm a theater kid, so I grew up doing musicals and recitals and all that shit, but also playing instruments. So I played piano when I was younger and learned violin and guitar. I had some, experience with string instruments, but piano really stuck with me. And I've been playing piano for like more than 20 years now,
Yeah,
like just a long time.
yeah,
Um, so a long time for making music, but then I guess in terms of making music for myself, I started doing that. I guess I was also a kid when I was doing that. I have like cassette tapes that I made when I was a kid in my dad's studio. So like I would make tapes and like pretend to be like a radio host and like do interviews with my siblings and all that weird shit. But taking it seriously as a career is always something I wanted to do. And then it became more real when I was in college. So I was doing like fun stuff in high school with friends, MySpace bands, like pop punk stuff. But then I fell in love with hip hop sometime towards the end of my high school career. I was just late on it. I went to school in Jersey where the culture was pretty rich for hip hop in Montclair, but I was just not much of a part of it until after high school. So once I just like I was always a writer, so I fell in love with the writing in hip hop first, the lyricism in it, and then I started writing. And then that kind of took off. People just supported, like my friends were like, you're good. Like keep going. And listening back to old stuff that I've done, I was not very good. So thank you to my friends for supporting me when I was ass. um, but yeah, I would say around 2011, 2012 is when I started taking hip hop more seriously as a student of hip hop. And I'm still learning to this day. And then about 5 years ago, Your Mystery Guest was formed. I'm in a rap duo with Young Daddy. And I went to high school with her as well. We know each other from Montclair. But she is just so prolific in terms of music. So I learned a lot from her, a lot about hip hop from her, but also just a lot about vocals and understanding how music works. So aside from her just being a huge influence on me, that was also a turning point in how I make music and how I approach the creative process in general. Yeah, I would say that's my background.
Okay, so you said you was doing like punk stuff and you did theater like originally and all that stuff.
It was pop punk. I'm not gonna pretend like it was punk.
Yeah, okay. So what was some of the artists that influenced you to transition? Like who's some of the people that made you be like, okay, I love this hip hop stuff?
Yeah, okay, that's a great question. There's like two or three that really come to mind. Sorry, there's a train right by my house.
Okay.
It's just loud as hell. Bus Driver and Aesop Rock were like the first two that I really heard and was like, oh, I write like this. Because I was during that time, I was really into nonsense poetry. I was reading a lot of Charles Dodgson, which people know as Lewis Carroll, the author for Alice in Wonderland. But
Okay.
I have like his complete works, and he's a nonsense poet. So he's like one of the originators of that type of approach to creative writing.
Okay.
So like I don't know if you've read his poem The Jabberwocky. It's like that's like his biggest, like most famous nonsense poem. But it's like there's like hidden, it's like there's meanings in it, but it's meaningless, you know. And then when I listened to Aesop Rock and Bus Driver definitely I feel has more meaning in his works, but Aesop Rock kind of has that like nonsensical approach to his writing where it's just very um it's like flouted in references and adjectives and things that don't necessarily feel like they belong together, but then they do. And when I was exposed to that, I want to say Reddit exposed me to it. This is when I started using Reddit. It was like I was like, wow, like I could definitely give this a try, and feel like this is something that I've already been studying, and then knowing that people are doing the same sort of creative writing, and then adding it to music. It's like it was really exciting for me to sort of find that niche of sound. So that's what really got me into actually writing hip hop. And then I was also during that time exposing myself to a lot of classics that I hadn't exposed myself to when I was younger. I just never grew up with it. My friends never listened to it. My parents never listened to it. So like Big L was a big one. Like all of Digging in the Crates. Lord Finesse is like my father. Like I'm a really big fan of Digging in the Crates. I can't even just pick one. They're all really great, but that was the other big influence to start getting into it between them and Missy Elliott, I would say.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know, whenever I spoke to you not that long ago, you was talking to me about you're really getting into production more lately and been doing a lot of producing. What uh what got you started on, focusing more on that? What was the thing that like kind of pushed you in that direction?
I was working with like garage band type stuff before.
Hmm.
I've been producing for like 10 years, but more seriously producing for the past 4 or 5 because of the SP 404.
Yeah.
Um, I was just dating somebody at the time that was just really controlling and wouldn't let me like see what I wanted, like on my own. So I wasn't seeing all my rap friends. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll start producing now. So I bought the beat machine and just, sat around and started producing, but like really fell in love with that tool in particular.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just kind of, it bubbled up from there, and I'm like a full-time producer now. It's fucking awesome.
Is there any producers that influence your style?
Um, that's a that's a great question. I A lot of my production, I have two different types of like production styles. One is just like when I sample on the SP, I would say girl talk is a huge influence. I think a lot of people call, like my friends will call me bar talk when I hit that type of like flow on the SP. It's because I sample and layer samples from different songs and try to, it comes out like a mashup, but also like an original song as well. So I
Mhm.
would say girl talk is a huge influence in that particular sense. And then I'm influenced by my local scene and my local producers. But Good Food is a huge influence. He's just a genius. Mostly the way he mixes his sounds and his shakers. It's very unique to him. I'm really inspired by producers that just sound like themselves, and that no matter how much you want to copy what they do or be influenced by what they do, you can never take their sauce. Like that shit is gonna be theirs forever, even if you say like, I'm gonna take these shakers, I'm gonna sample these shakers from my friend who created the perfect shakers. It's still not gonna be like, his song. Their music is theirs forever, and that's really inspiring to me. Like you can't steal that. Because people will steal ideas all the time. You
Yeah.
gotta be able to like live with that.
Yeah, for sure.
When you know
Definitely.
you're good, then like you don't have to worry about people stealing your ideas.
Yeah, I feel you on that. You mentioned like your mystery guest and Young Daddy. That's how like I seen you guys at like South by Southwest like a long time ago.
Oh shit.
That's like how I got hip to you and what you guys were doing and stuff. And like that I feel like, you two are a great combination and really have like that's something that yeah, that's something that can really go somewhere for sure.
That's
And I just want to ask like during all of COVID and stuff like that might be hard to, meet up and collaborate and things of that nature. So can you tell us a little bit about like, where you guys are at with the Your Mystery Guest? Like, is there gonna be stuff coming out? What's up with that?
Yes. Oh my God, I'm so excited to talk about this. So we dropped our project last year in December, but that project we had been sitting on for already a year. We toured it, like it was tired. And then yeah, with COVID, she's in Jersey, I'm in New York, and it's so hard for us to actually meet up. But we have a session planned for next week. So new music on the way. we have stuff that we're focused on and working on. But it's a matter of really just sitting in the same room. I can work virtually with a lot of people, but she's not one of them. Some people just need to be in the space and tap into the energy in here, and it's just easier that way. Um, but I also collaborate with a lot of artists through Pedal. I don't know if you've heard of Pedal.
No.
It's a Norwegian designed subscription based service that allows you to seamlessly like in real time have a shared session with another person. So if you're on Ableton and I'm on Logic, you can still hear what's going on in my digital audio workspace, my DAW, and be able to, I can like drag wave files directly into the driver and you can pull it in real time. It's very cool. I was able to collaborate with some people that I have never met in person. And then it feels like we're sitting in the same room and are able to do stuff. So I think it just depends on, who I'm working with. But for your mystery guest, we definitely, we prefer an in-person, because that's my sister. Like, that's really someone that I love very much, and it works better when we share that space. But yeah, new shit is on the way. I'm really, really excited. It's long overdue, and we're both just like, we're ready to fight, like in the mic, like in the booth. We're ready to. Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it. Like I said, that's how I found out about you and her. Like, I just seen you guys perform down there in Texas, and I was like,
was this like 2 years ago or like 4 or 5 years ago?
Like 4 years ago, I think.
Like 2015?
Yeah.
Holy shit. So us from like first wave YMG. That was like 5-spot stuff. We came out there with we had dropped 5-spot after South by Southwest. But when we came, and that's like a 40-track project. That was like our debut project. When we came out there, we only had like 5 songs.
That's crazy.
5 or 6 songs.
Like,
we just like put it on like CDs and just handed them out to people.
Yeah, because I seen you guys perform, I didn't like hear the music, you know.
Word.
So like it didn't seem like you guys were new. Like
we were brand new.
You guys had a lot of swag, man. Like a lot of swag. Like it didn't seem like something that was new or like fresh to you guys, you know.
Word.
It was dope, man.
Word. I had been rapping maybe like 3 or 4 years before your mystery guest. And I had asked her to manage me because she was already managing artists in Jersey.
Okay.
And then she just like tried to get me to freestyle. And while we're practicing learning how to freestyle, I'm like, you got like, why are you not rapping? You're like, why are you not doing this?
So yeah. So you inspired, like you talked her into doing it, but she inspires you in the. That's crazy, man.
We inspire each other. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She's had, like life experience on stage and as well. Like she's gone through her own rites of passage, but her voice is so unique that she has to protect herself. You know what I mean? Like people want to take advantage of a talent like that. So she's just been like, minding her P's and Q's, but it worked out. And yeah, it's just so natural. That's so funny that it comes off that we're seasoned. We were definitely not seasoned. We were maybe like 3 or 4 months fresh.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
So you got some of that coming out soon. How about yourself as far as a producer, rapper? Like, what do you have coming out soon?
Word. I definitely took a break from solo raps. I don't have an explanation for it. Sorry. I'm like, it's the morning.
Yeah. It's
I took a break from solo raps, but I still find myself writing. I am finally getting geared up to release my first SP project. I haven't done that yet. I've released a beats project, an instrumental project, but that was all Ableton work. So now I'm excited to actually release something from only the SP. I'm hopefully, I really want to make cassettes for it because it's also in tune with the audience. They like collectibles and shit, so I think it'll work for that. And then in terms of vocal work, I'm working on more singer-songwriter stuff, which is very different for me. Hopefully I'll still be able to feel comfortable dropping like rap stuff. I can't stop writing, even though I want to. But I have recorded some songs that are like very loungy, like jazz lounge singer type stuff. Nice. Really emotive, which is very unlike me in terms of sharing with the public. Like I'll sit here and cover songs all day long and belt, and I don't care. But in terms of sharing it with people, it's something that's I've had to work on building my vocal strength and understanding this is an instrument.
Mm.
So it's coming together. Hopefully, like a little EP. Got some music videos in the work for it because I want a full rollout for a complete change.
Right.
But that's what I'm working on right now. Hopefully by spring that that will be able to come out. But in the meantime, I want to put out more SP stuff because I'm back into that and I'm loving it.
So well, whenever you get your videos ready and you're ready to like do that
Yeah,
new push,
I'll
we
send it to
will
you.
circle
No
back
problem.
and we can, talk about just that project
Yeah,
specifically. We'll post you up on the website and promote as much as we can for you.
cool.
I'm interested in, like it's really crazy to hear like artists how hard they are on themselves, because like you said like you guys are 3 or 4 month season, and I've just I followed you guys on Instagram because you were dope, and I've like every little thing that both of you two like you're like a lot more like versatile. Like I could definitely, maybe not, that's not the right word, but like you post content that is like very different. Like there's a bunch of different stuff. It's like, wow, this girl likes so many different things,
I
and
just do so many different things.
yeah. And for me personally, like I feel like everything you're doing is great. And to hear you be like, oh, I gotta make sure that everything's just right before I release it and stuff, and you're really hard on yourself. And I'm over here just thinking like, what's she gonna put out next, like excited for it. I'm sure the more exposure you get, the more people you'll have feeling like that. So
Awesome.
it's interesting to hear you're not the first artist I've heard that's like their own hardest critic,
Yeah,
For-
big imposter syndrome over here. Every other day it's like I suck and I don't know what I'm doing. And then, listen, like people will tell me like, no, you're good. You just need to, you're good. Just keep going, like trust the process. It's really it's just part of the process. One day it's gonna be like shit, and then the next day you're gonna be like, why was it, how could I have ever thought that I was shit? Like I'm the shit. Like it really swings, the pendulum swings. But
yeah. Yeah, I got some advice, two pieces of advice from somebody that really helped me with this website and like really going for it, just doing it. They said uh if you don't put stuff out, if you don't do it, then you can't learn from the experience to like make it better and
yeah,
better.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
they also said that like, you know, if you have say 1,000 people that really fuck with you and they're willing to,
100,
yeah,
100.
even 100, right? But the point of what they were saying is like, of if you could get 1,000 people to, spend money with
Yeah,
you, then you'll have a good job.
yeah, that's
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's all it takes. Like it doesn't take being like this superstar, and I never put it into perspective that way, like in my own mind till I talked to this person.
yeah.
And it made me be like, okay, like all the ideas that I have, everything that I want to do, I just have to go for it.
A
And
thousand is like a success, like a
that's what,
super success. Like a
yeah.
hundred, you can be fine. Honestly, if 100 people, what they say is like if you have 100 people in your fan base
Mhm.
that want to spend money on you, you're
Yeah.
good. You're
Yeah.
good for life.
That's
Like that's a full-time job.
that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Because
That,
it's like you drop a project once a month. Let's say you drop a project, you sell that project for $15. You make 10 of those dollars, but 100 people are buying that.
yeah.
There's your rent money. You know what I mean? Like it's that small scale. 1,000 is obviously like a proper success.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He was like, that could average out to where you're like getting close to 6 figures, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so
Do you
just,
mind if I smoke?
No, not at
Okay.
all.
I'm like, okay, word. um, yeah, that's great advice. That's
Yeah,
great advice. That's one of the reasons I started my OnlyFans, was to be able to really gauge how many people are willing to spend money on me and what I do, no matter what.
yeah,
Like if I'm dropping or if I'm not dropping, they're still willing to spend the money.
yeah, for
So
sure.
like even if I started off with the initial launch, let's say I started off with 100 people in my initial launch, and then 70 of them fall off because they realize they're not getting TNA or whatever. You know what I mean? Like those like remaining 30 people is worth it for me.
Yeah,
I'm really gauging that, or at least know that I have that. That's my power reach, so to speak.
right.
So yeah,
Yeah,
there's
that's really good idea. You know, I think it's interesting when people use a tool like OnlyFans that's not typically used that way. You know, you're using a tool in your way.
yeah,
Like, okay, that how can I get uh you know, members and gauge how many people that really fuck with me, you know?
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. So between that and Patreon, and the reason I didn't go for Patreon, even though it pays out better, is because I still have over different platforms,
Mm,
just different audiences. So on one platform, I'll have an audience that's just like, we want selfies and that's all we want. So they'll migrate over, you know? So I like, I'm able to take all of the things that I do for different people and give the same content that they want plus on that platform. I don't think I could do it with Patreon. Otherwise I would do it with Patreon.
okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
As far as you were saying, you know, talking about tools and stuff like that, you were saying that like the SB404 is like your main thing. Whenever you produce like in a DAW and stuff like that, what do you typically use, and what is like the ideal studio setup for you?
That's I'm in Ableton right now, Ableton 9, and I love it.
Yeah,
That's like once I learned how to use it, sat through like a couple tutorials, it was like um Photoshop for me.
yeah.
And I'm proficient in Adobe. So I sit with I'm a I'm a keyboard player, piano player. My friend let me borrow his Korg Triton.
Oh, sick.
Titran. I don't know how to pronounce Titran. It's a good like little like 48 key keyboard, and then I also got blessed with um, the Arturia Lab, which is has like over 6,000 samples, not samples, over 6,000 instruments, like piano instruments, synth instruments. So
Sick.
I have like a huge library of instruments now, which I didn't have before. So my setup is fucking awesome. And that's my ideal setup, the keyboard and just the studio, because I have all the drum packs I could ever want, all the synths I could ever want. Everything is really easy and clean. And the more simple it is for me, the better, because once you start really overcomplicating it, you lose I feel like I lose the music. I lose like the actual sound that I was going in for. The SP, I don't use the SP with the DAW. I'll just record into the DAW as like a WAV file. If I'm the only way that I'll use the SP with the DAW is if I'm chopping a sample and then I flipped the sample so many times in the SP, like warmed it up with so many different effects, resampled it a million different ways, that it only lives in the SP, and the only way to get it out is through the memory card into the computer and use that stem for a different song in the DAW. But usually I don't do that. That's not usually my process, but that would be the only way that I could see the SP being that significant to an Ableton process. Ableton is usually there in the SP process only as a final mix down.
Yeah.
So for mastering or for an overall EQ,
Mm,
but I'll usually go like I'll do a straight performance on the SP, record the whole track, and then just mix the whole track. It won't be like stems from the SP being mixed in Ableton. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope, man.
Yeah.
You know, when I was learning Ableton, my favorite part about it is, you know, if you like when you hold the arrow like over something, how it like pops up what it is.
What? I
Yeah,
don't know that. I'm about to pull up Ableton right now and learn.
yeah.
Always
So,
learning new stuff about Ableton.
well, you're probably past this point, but like when I was first started learning, like I remember when I first got it, you like whatever your arrow is on, like if you just let it sit there for like a second or two, like it'll pop like the little like a little bubble will tell you what it is. Like
What
it,
arrow?
your
I'm
mouse,
looking at
like
it.
okay, so you know
Okay.
down in the left corner, how
Okay.
there's like writing down there, put your arrow over something and see how the writing in the bottom left corner changes. You know what I'm saying? There's like it'll tell you what it is down there in the bottom
Uh,
left.
let's see. Over any writing?
Like just anything, like it'll tell you like you go over like your EQ,
Oh,
it'll
where
explain.
it has like the info
Yeah, like
box at the bottom.
yeah, like when I was first learning, I'm
I
sure
have my
you're
folder.
like,
I
that's
have
why
it
I
folded.
was like, you're past it now. But like when I was first learning as a kid, that was my favorite thing because
It
you know,
explains everything. That's
yeah,
so
it
cool. It's like
explains
a
it.
little encyclopedia.
And then so you can start there and go down the rabbit hole with that like first step, you know?
Yep.
So that for me personally, once I got to Ableton, I was like, this is it. Like
That's so cool. I have it folded up. I think I just like hit like one. I hit one tutorial. I was like, I need to sit with like a tutorial for 2 hours, and
yeah,
then I'll know how to use this. That's so cool though. I completely forgot that it had that, and it has like a whole sidebar too,
yeah.
that pops up with other stuff.
Yeah, Ableton is by far my favorite dog. I know everybody likes what they like, you know? If
Everybody's stupid, and Ableton is the only. No, I'm kidding. It's like I've seen Logic do some crazy shit that I'm like,
yeah,
I really want to sit and learn Logic because there's some stuff that that program can do, or at least the stock sounds on that program are like the kicks hit different. Those
yeah,
Logic kicks hit really like you can hear a song and be like, oh, this was produced in Logic. Like
yeah.
this is crazy. So I would learn Logic for that, and they have other things that Ableton can do that I
Mm,
want to feel that like streamline workflow faster.
yeah.
I just want to learn that, but Ableton by far, I've had the best experience with. I've
For,
heard Reason was really good too. I
that
haven't
was
tried
that
Reason,
was
but
like the very first thing that I ever played with. I had a friend that showed me Reason when we were like 12. And that was sick, man. It was really cool to get started. And then like everybody from that era, I feel like
yeah.
right after that I downloaded like Fruity Loops used to offer a free download online. I don't know if they still do that because yeah,
Not
but
like they used to.
yeah, like the free download, like you
It
would
used
get
to be a
it.
free program. Like
Yeah, that's how I started, and I just think I think it's really funny, you know, like when I work with a lot of trap artists that like die by Fruity Loops.
yep,
Like
that's what I
this
mean.
is
That's what I mean though.
yeah,
Like Fruity Loops has those unique sounds. Their
yeah,
stock sounds are perfect for trap music. Like
yes,
I don't know what it is. I don't know what they did in there like to make those sounds, but that's
yeah,
yeah. I feel like all good trap producers are Fruity Loop producers.
yeah, for sure. And it's really wild because to me, I just that's the beginner program. But then you hear what they make and then you can't knock it. It's like I'm not hating on it. It's just like, damn, dude, you guys like really created like this
Yeah.
whole career off of this program. That's awesome, you know?
Yep. I love it. I love to see it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any like specific plugins or settings you like to use for vocals?
For vocals, no, I just like I'm into the stock settings, stock
Yeah.
plugins for vocals, just the basic like 8 band EQ, um, some compression. I like a little bit of audio delay. I don't try to put too much reverb on vocals, but I like a good audio delay where it sounds like I got a really good tip from from a producer I love, an artist I love actually. And I think Angelo Moda told me about this. He said the vocals just need a little delay. And I like what it means is I can't, I'm trying to put it into words. It's like such a slight delay
Mm.
that it sounds like the words are slightly longer than they are,
Yeah.
but not like the words are being said twice.
Yeah.
So once I understood that and started applying that to my mixing, people could understand me better. And for mixing rap vocals, it's so key because I want to make sure that people hear the words. As a lyricist, as a lyric heavy artist, if I was doing stuff that wasn't like lyric heavy, I don't think I would care too much about a vocal delay, and
Okay.
would just focus more on just EQing the bandwidth and making sure like it sits right with the kicks. But because I do a lot of lyric heavy stuff and I want to make sure I'm understood, that slight audio delay made a huge difference to vocal mixing. Yeah,
Oh yeah, man.
yeah. And I have Elements 9 now, but I don't know how to use it. I'm excited to start learning how to master stuff. That's
Yeah,
like
I never used the Elements. I've heard about it. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about it. Like the
it was
people
on
who have
sale,
to
bro.
use
Like
it,
it was on sale.
yeah,
Sometime during quarantine, they were like, "We feel for you. Like we're gonna put this on sale," and they had it up for like $30. I was like,
thank
"Okay,
you very much.
thank you for taking off that zero. I'm gonna buy this and not regret it later." So I haven't used it yet, but I know that I'm not regretting that purchase. Like that's
Okay,
a plugin that I feel like is gonna take my music to another level.
okay, cool. Something is kind of a little bit off topic was something that I've been wanting to ask you is living in New York, you have access to so many different things, you know, like how do you in your words, like how do you feel like that influences your career and your music, and you know what's some things you pull from just being in such a big great city, you know?
Hell yeah. We talk about this as like my friends and I talk about how lucky we are to have a beat scene and to know other producers in real life that we can hang out with and like
Mm.
chop shit up with, collaborate in person. And we know that it doesn't exist in a lot of other places in the world. Like it's in like, and even in this country alone, like it just doesn't exist everywhere like it exists here. I know that there's beats.
Anything exist anywhere like it does in New York,
Hey,
especially, you
hey,
know?
I look, and I gotta give Jersey credit where it's due because like Jersey has a big role in the culture that as well. I mean, I'm biased. I'm from New Jersey. I've just been living in Brooklyn for the past four years or so. So I've definitely seen both sides of the fence. But I like the culture is really precious. It's very unique. I think it's really great. Honestly, there's not much else I could say except for that I'm super grateful for it. When I first started rapping, I was only using Reddit forums
Mm.
and trying to get real feedback from strangers online. And to be fair, that really helped a lot because people in real life, they won't really give you feedback.
Right.
But being able to engage a crowd and then building connections off of your performance is so valuable as an artist, because you really get to see what people feel like, how they actually feel and react to your music in real time,
Mm.
as opposed to waiting for feedback from someone who may have just heard it. So that's really helpful. Networking, obviously, in New York's one of the best places to network. But if you're nice, you can make it. You can make it anywhere. It's like you're in Miami. That's a great place to network too. LA is a great place to network. Chicago is a great place for music too. It just depends on how fire you are.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
for sure. Do you feel like it's do you feel like it influences the music you make at all by living there?
The people that influence me I've never met, but I'm definitely influenced like I'm inspired. I wouldn't say influenced. I think influence is a really strong word. I try not to be influenced by a lot of things, but I'm inspired. I'm so inspired here. And I don't think that I would be as inspired anywhere else.
Right.
Anywhere else. Otherwise, I would move because I'm always chasing inspiration as an artist.
Mm.
And this city is so rich in it. It really is. Fucking awesome how much shit we have, and and we don't run out. Like it doesn't run out. It's just, like, we have an endless supply of fucking fly shit. It's fucking awesome. So yeah, so it's great for inspiration. I'm always looking for new people to support, or what else is new. Like there's always something new. I don't know how there's always something new, but there is, and it's great. Here you'll find it in New York.
Oh yeah, man. Okay, so that's pretty much about it. To wrap it up, I wanted to ask you if there's one piece of advice that you could give to somebody watching this, what would you say?
Give a fuck. like care, remain authentic and care. Do it because you want to. Like you're gonna be a student in this life, and yeah, I would say remain authentic and really care about the culture that you're stepping into, care about what you're making, care about what you're engaging with. Give it time, give it thought, and be cool with, like, learn about it. Stay true and all that shit. Yeah, that's what I would say. Music is for the people, so do it for you.
All right, hell yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to do this, and
Thank you for having me.
it was
It's
a
fun.
great conversation. I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
You
Yeah.
know, and stay well, and
Yeah. Oh,
send
yeah.
me.
Stay warm. Oh my God, stay warm in Miami.
Oh yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Send me the music you want me to post, and I'll get the article written up, and I'll get this posted in a couple days.
Okay, awesome. Yay, I can't wait. That's
All
cool.
right, man. Take care.
Cool. Peace. Later.